So this is a bit of a build vloggy type update. Despite some availability challenges of the new Threadripper parts in the UK, these things are selling like hotcakes, and I suspect supply is probably quite limited as well. We've managed to get ourselves a Threadripper 3960X, a 24-core, 48-thread absolute behemoth that in all of the benchmarks that I've been looking at absolutely tears through 4K H.264 Premiere Pro encoding, which is what we use. To go along with that, partly because I want to get more into kind of like After Effects type stuff, which is a memory hog. We've also got 64 gigs of G.Skill Trident Neo running at 3600 megahertz. That's the sweet spot for the Infinity Fabric in the 3rd generation Ryzen CPUs, and all of that to be mounted in the absolute behemoth, the most expensive motherboard I have ever bought by a country mile, the Zenith 2 Extreme, which is the, I guess, the spiritual successor to the board that we've already got in the SMA A8. That's the original Zenith Extreme, so I don't think I'm an Asus fanboy. I just like that board. The new one's got a color display on it as well for displaying CPU temps, and it's got an app that you can design things for it to show as well, and I quite like that. 16 VRMs to control the power delivery to the Threadripper CPU. That's insane. And this thing has got 2 8-pin connectors on it and an additional 6-pin connector to deliver power to the CPU alongside the normal 24-pin ATX connector. That's insane amounts of power. I did note in the instructions that you only have to connect the 2 8-pins. In fact, I think you can get away with 1 8-pin and 1 4-pin if you want, but the connectors are there, so why not? And I have finally, after many, many years, I think the best part perhaps of 7 or 8 years now, I have finally had to concede that my 860 watt PSU, going strong as she is, just is not up to the job. I do like the digital power regulation that you get with the AXI power supply, so rather than opt for like an HXI, which is a more recent release from Corsair, I have stuck with the AXI lineup and got myself an AX1200i. So not substantially more amounts of power, but enough. That feels like the right amount of power so that you get into the right sort of efficiency sweet spot. I mean, it's a hell of a lot of power that this thing is going to draw. 280 watt TDP on the Threadripper 3960X, an absolute behemoth. Insane amounts of PCIe Gen 4 lanes, so we've got ourselves some new NVMe drives. These are the Sabrent 500 gig drives. That might seem quite small, but rather than have one big drive, 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte, because I like to split my Premiere Pro and operating system files onto one drive, the files I'm editing from onto another drive, and then another drive for the scratch track, effectively the track that Premiere Pro temporarily builds out whilst you're editing the file. You know, I'm using 4K 100 megabits per second files off of my Sony A6500. Lots and lots and lots and lots of I/O is a very helpful thing to do as you're editing and rendering really complicated video files with some sort of trendy type sort of stop motion graphic stuff going on. And to be fair, the 1950X that I've been using's done pretty good job with that. But there are definitely moments that you can see it starting to show its age a little bit. For now, this is all going to be hosted in the current SMA A8 that I have, just for the sake of simplicity for now. The plan, of course, being to move that into the Revision A SMA A8 that I've got. We're planning distro plates for that. Remember, it's going to be an all-glass build. It's going to be that kind of glass and ice, clean and cold theme. But basically, I haven't got all of the bits, and that's probably certainly a few weeks, if not a month or two out yet. And I can't wait to get my hands on the 3960X, and you shouldn't wait to see just how fantastic a processor it is. So, it's quite a big job, actually. I still need to clean the bottom radiators in the current build that I've got. Water cooling, of course, does require some maintenance, so we need to do that. We need to replace the tubing in the bottom, which is still currently PETG, with glass tubing. So, and my schedule is pretty manically busy at the moment. Normally, I would try and bosh through this in one weekend, but I'm probably going to give myself a bit of breathing room and give myself a few days into next week as well. So there we go, an update on the build vlog. Almost certainly going to be an incredible montage video for you in the next kind of 4 or 5 days. So subscribe if you're not, so that you don't miss that vid. Please like and share this video, and as always, I hope you're really well wherever in the world you are. See you in my next one.